Today I want to cover some of the details of Zoho Creator Views. In a previous video we talked about Zoho Creator Forms, where you design a form where people can enter information. Once the information is entered, you need to be able to view the information. So Zoho basically breaks into forms and views. And here we are looking at a view. You can see it looks like a spreadsheet with columns and rows. And right now we're looking at 10 records. We've got 1 to 10 of many. If I click on this, it'll show me the total, and there's 50 altogether. Now, normally I don't like to look at just a small number of records. I like to see more in one view. So if I want to see the next group, I click here, and I get record 11 to 20, but that's still cumbersome, moving back and forth. If I come to this symbol here, the page, I can indicate how many records per page. And I could say, I usually go to 200 just so I get all the records. I mean, there may be more records, but at least I'm looking at a decent number if there are more than 200. And you can see as you scroll down, the heading stays in place, so it's easy to know what column you're looking at. Okay. Now, since I did make that change, I have a little asterisk here that just tells me that I've made changes to the normal base view. And you can see when you put your mouse on here, it'll ask you, do you want to reset the changes or save the changes? If I click on Save Changes, it tells me the changes I've made, and I can save to the current view or I can create a brand new view, and we'll see that in a moment. But right now I'm going to click on Save, and now this is saved permanently. So the next time I come to this view, I'll be seeing up to 200 records on one page. All right, so that's the basics of the layout of the screen here. And if you put your mouse on any column heading, you'll see there's a little down arrow. And if I click on that, it gives me several choices. And I'll just go through them one by one. And here I am looking at the company name. And let's say I wanted to sort that so that I get them all together. So now I'm getting Big Corp first, and then I'm getting Huge Company below. And one of the nice things is that these are cumulative. So I'm sorting under company name, and now I'm going to sort under who it's assigned to. And now I'm getting Big Corp, and most of those are assigned to Herb Wexler. But there's a few that are assigned to John Smith. And under Huge Company, those are assigned to Herb, and then John Smith gets some more. So you can see there's a lot of flexibility in the sorting of the columns. All right. Now, once again, I've got the asterisk to tell me that I've made some changes in how the information is displayed. I could save those changes, or I could just reset. So I'm going to reset. And let me go down to the next item. So that was sorting. Grouping. Actually, grouping is best under company name. So I'm going to group here. Go to Ascending. And what it does, it takes that column, it removes it from the display here, and puts it into a group heading. That's why it's called grouping. So now we have the Big Corp group, and I slide down under here, and here I come to the Huge Company group. Okay, so now I've got, once again, it's an easier way to view the information. So let's come back up to the top. I'll reset those changes. Okay, and let's go up to the top again, and let's go to the next item. So that was sorting, then we did grouping, and now searching, which is a very powerful feature. Okay, so let's say I wanted to look for all the ones where the contact name is Don. Okay, so I type that in there, I click on search, and I will get just the records where Donald Duck is a contact name. I could also look for all the ones that do not contain Don. So now I get Mike Mouse, I get Martha Mouse. So there is some flexibility in there. I could also say only ones that starts with, only ones that end with, is empty, is not empty. A lot of choices on that. I do want to show you also the date field, because this is also very powerful. And here I can say a specific date. If I say is, if I click on this box, it'll give me a calendar, and I can choose any specific date. And if I click search, it'll show me just the records that have a start date of July 11th and assigned or not assigned to Don. And you can see there's 26 records matching that. I could also I can say anything that's before July 11th. And I search, I'll get a different list. Okay. And dates they're very flexible. I can do a date range, from to. If I can come down and say yesterday, today, tomorrow, last 30 days, next 30 days, a lot of choices here. Last week, next week, last month, this month, next month. So there's a lot of flexibility on the dates. Okay. All right. So let me cancel that on the searching. And you can see that can be a very powerful thing. And the last one is hide column. Let's say I don't want to see the description. Let me come over here. And I don't want to see the description because that can take up a lot of space. So I just hid that column. Once again, it's telling me I've made some changes. And I have a different view. And I'm going to save this as a new view. And we'll call that projects without description. Okay, we'll save that. Okay, and let it refresh the screen. And you'll see we now have projects without description, and we have our projects view. So I come to the project view, you see I have the description. If I come to the projects without description, I don't have that column. So you can see it's very easy to create new views of the same information. All right. Now, some of the other features that are in here, because the assign to is actually a separate form from the project itself, I can click on this. It's a hyperlink, as you can see, because it's in blue. And when I click on it, it gives me all the details of that person. So Herb Wexler, the email, which we had up here, but we now can see the phone number, the hire date, the status. He's a full-time employee, and that Herb is a Zoho Creator developer. I can come down to John Smith, do the same thing, find out that he's very good with websites. So without taking up a lot of display area, you can still get to the underlying information. And that's what makes relational databases so powerful. Okay. All right. Now, if I come over here on the left side, you can see edit, delete, duplicate, print, and view. If I edit the record, you can see I have all the various fields. I can enter the information. Let's say I want to change this project. Instead of assigning it to Herb, I want to assign it to John. All right. And then if I update that record, then it will be changed. Okay. So that's been changed. I could also pretty much anywhere on the record, if I right-click, I'll get the same menu, including the view record. Okay. And pretty much those are the ones that you'll be using the edit most. Occasionally you will be deleting an item. I'm actually not going to do that here. You could also duplicate a record. So if there's a lot of information that's almost the same and you need to change one piece of information, duplicating is a useful thing. And you can print the record or view the details. So those are the basics on what you can do at the view level. Now, if you are an administrator, you can click on the Edit application, and you do get many more options, which I'll cover in another video. So those are the basics of what we're doing here. I do want to mention this box here. If I click here, it selects all the records, and I could delete them all. I could duplicate them all. I could do a bulk edit, which you do want to use rarely. You can get in trouble by using that. But what it allows you to do is select any column. Let's say I want to assign them all these projects to the same person. I'm going to assign them all to John Smith. If I click apply, it will go through all of the records that I've selected and change the assign to, which I don't want to do. Okay. Now I could also unclick and unselect certain records, so I could do a bulk edit on just a few, or it could just be I want to delete a few. Now that actually becomes very powerful if you combine that with one of the search features. So let's say I want to take all the projects where let's see, where the date is this month. I'm going to do a search on that. And there's 44 records. Actually, let's not do this month. Let's do last month. All right, so we'll search there. And there's only 2 records last month. And I want to change both those records to say we're going to start that project coming up. So I'll do the bulk edit. I will come to the start date, and I'm going to change that and say, those are going to start August 6th. So I apply that. Gives me a little warning that I'm going to change 2 records, and those disappeared from my view because I'm looking at just last month. And let me look at next month. And there's the 2 records I just changed. So that's some of the features that you can do within the form. So once again, the next video will be on what you can do within the edit section, which has some power. You actually need the ability to do a little bit of coding, but mostly we wanted to cover here the ability of what an average user without the special access rights of editing the application, what they can do just looking at the view. And just a little bit of caution, certain users will be able to do all of these things but won't be able to save them permanently, meaning that you wouldn't have this button to save the changes, but that person, when they come back to look at the view, would see what they saw last time they viewed it. So they can make changes for their own use but not affect anyone else. So thank you for your time, and I think there is a lot of power in these Zoho Creator Views. Thank you very much.